Okay, so today we're going to be taking functions and add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So it says perform the indicated operation. So this says, hey, we're supposed to add. So you add two polynomials by combining like terms. So if you add the two squareds, you get 4x squared, and then minus 2x, and then minus 6. This says subtract the two polynomials, so distribute the negative sign to both of these. You get negative 5x squared plus 8x minus 6, and you're going to get x cubed plus 4x squared, and then minus 8x, and then minus 13. Actually, it would be plus 8x. Okay. On the following one, our job is to multiply these because there's nothing between the two binomials. And notice these are conjugates. So when you FOIL these out, you're going to get x squared plus 4xy minus 4xy, and then minus 16y squared. The middle terms go away when you multiply conjugates, and you get x squared minus 16y squared. The next one says multiply. How do we know that? Because it has no sign between the monomial with the trinomial. So you get negative 3x to the 5, and then it'd be plus 12x cubed, and then plus 24, and then x squared. If there's no exponent on a letter, on a variable, it is assumed it's to the first power. And then this one, make sure that you remember you can't just square each term. You got to write it twice. So if you write 3x minus 2 times 3x minus 2, you're going to get 9x squared minus 6x, and then plus 4. That's 9x squared minus 12x, and then plus 4. Over here, you're like, oh, this is terrible. Well, I think the way to cope with it is to multiply two together. I tend to multiply the yuckier ones together and then save the last one as a binomial that's easiest to distribute from the front. Okay, if you have to just distribute two different things to a trinomial, it's easier than doing the opposite. So if you multiply this out, you get 6x squared minus 2x plus 9x, and then minus 3. 6x squared plus 7x, and then minus 3. At this point, you just have to take x minus 2 times that. And I really have found that if you distribute just two things into 3, it's easier than the reciprocal, than doing the 3 things to the 2. So you take the first one by all 3, and I like to line it up. I get 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus 3x. And then when you multiply the negative 2 times all 3, I like to line them up. You get negative 12x squared. I put it below the other x squared. And then minus 14x. And then you get plus 6. Combine like terms vertically, you get 6x cubed minus 5x squared minus 17x, and then plus 6. Okay, so that's kind of a good way to look at that kind of question. On the back, the next question is very much the same. And if you want to work it out, I would strongly suggest that you take the a by all 3, get a cubed minus 5a squared minus 6a, and then take the 3 times all 3, you get 3a squared minus 15a, and then minus 18. So combining like terms, you get a cubed minus 2a squared minus 21, 21a, and then minus 18. Z, all these trinomials multiplied, again, it would be a much bigger question, but the idea is to take all 3 by the first term, take the next term by all 3, and then the last term by all 3. And you can work on those to see what you would get. I think the one I want to focus on would be the bottom. It says, can you take f of x and subtract h of x from it? And look at these here. F of x is 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. And they say, can you subtract from that h of x? And h of x is the right side. It's x cubed minus 2x. So if you want to subtract those, you've got to distribute the negative sign to the second group. You get negative x cubed plus 2x, and then we can combine like terms to say, well, f of x minus h of x is going to equal 2x, oh wait, I lied. It would be negative x cubed plus 2x squared minus 2x, and then plus 3. Combine like terms. And then it says take g of x times h of x. Well, in that problem, you just basically take g of x and h of x and FOIL them out, okay? G of x is going to be x squared plus 4x. And if you multiply that by h of x, which is going to be x cubed minus 2x, and you FOIL it out, I believe your answer is going to be x to the 5th. Let's see, plus 4x to the 4th. Minus 2x cubed, and then minus 8x squared. Yeah, so that should be what you get when you multiply those together. And then this just says take g of x and f of x, add them together, combine like terms. So I think that those are pretty basic questions, but I think the other question would be, if you look at 18, it says do f of 5a. Well, f is this one right here, and if I had just said do a number, you'd get a number answer, but it says do f of 5a. So you do 2, and where you see x, you put 5a. Okay, so then you would go, you do the power, you do 5a times 5a, and you get 25a squared times 2 is 50a squared, and then minus 20a, and then plus 3. That's what you get when you do f of 5a. Then when you do p of a minus 1, well, this is p, so you got to do a minus 1. So p of a minus 1 is going to be 4 times a minus 1 squared, and then plus 8. Remember, when you take a minus 1 times a minus 1, you got to FOIL it out. You get a squared minus 2a, and then plus 1. If you distribute the 4 to that and then add 8, you get 4a squared minus 8a plus 4 plus 8. And combining like terms between both of these groups here, you're going to get 54a squared. You're going to get negative 28a. And then you're going to get, pardon me. Excuse me, I just sneezed. Okay, so 54a squared minus 28a, and then it looks like we're going to have plus 15. Okay, and so combining like terms, you would get 54a squared minus 28a, and then plus 15. So I think the last one that we look at over here, you do f of 2a. So f of 2a would be 2 times 2a and then squared minus 4 times 2a and then plus 3. If you square this, you get 2a times 2a, which would be 4a squared, and you times that by 2, so it would be 8a squared, and then minus 8a, and then plus 3. And then you've got to do g of a. When you do g of a, we go to g, that's here, and you plug in just a. You get a squared plus 4a. Okay, so for both of those values for x, you just plug in a. And so you get 9a squared and then minus 4a, and that looks like plus 3. And that will be your solution, your new function. So we're building new functions by either adding them or multiplying them or subtracting them or evaluating them for certain other expressions. That is our lesson for today. Thank you. Have a good day.